I'm Sheila with Arbor Valley, and today we're going to talk about how to correctly plant a balled and burlap or B&B tree. And the first thing that you're going to want to do when you receive a tree is to visually inspect and see if there's any major damage to the tree. So you can lift any protection, look for damage to the trunk, any major breakage of the canopy, and make sure that you've got a healthy tree with you. The next thing that you're going to want to do is to dig your hole. This hole needs to be about 2 or 3 times the diameter of the tree's root ball and about 2 to 3 inches shorter than the height of the root ball. So an easy way to measure this is to take a shovel, measure kind of the diameter from the base of the shovel and mark it with your hand. And then you can use your shovel to estimate the width of your root ball. Similarly, you can measure here, take a level, and ensure that you've got the right height here. When you're preparing the hole to put your tree in, you want to make sure that the hole is saucer shaped. There's a tendency to dig a hole with very straight, rigid sides, and we don't want to do that because the roots have difficulty penetrating from the backfill into the native soil. Another reason that we want to plant our trees a couple inches above grade in Colorado is to avoid drowning the trees. We have some pretty heavy clay soils in Colorado, and we don't want the water to be pooling within that hole and preventing the tree roots from breathing. The other key aspect to this is if roots are planted above grade and exposed to air, they can easily transform into bark, but the opposite is not exactly true. When the bark is buried on the trunk, it can cause rot problems and issues for the tree as well. So once you have placed your tree into the hole, you're going to want to ensure that the trunk of the tree is straight. So you can look at it from every angle, make sure that it's sitting straight in the hole. And you can use your backfill at this point to add some soil back into the hole in a small ring around the ball to stabilize the ball and to ensure that it is straight. You can then at that point go around and pack in the ring around the root ball so that the tree is nice and secure in its hole here. At this point, once you've secured the tree with the ring around the base, you can begin to remove the burlap and the basket from the root ball of the tree. So you can take some wire cutters and remove, really the key here is to get the top 2/3 of the basket. You can leave the bottom third of the basket in the hole because the roots are going to grow laterally rather than down into the soil. Okay, now that the wire basket has been removed from the top 2/3 of the root ball, you can go ahead and start to pull the burlap back and expose the roots. It's not important to remove all of the burlap from the hole. Just make sure you're exposing the top 2/3 of the root ball here so that the roots can start to expand out into the soil. Another important factor that you want to look at as soon as you get this root ball exposed is the root flare. So that's going to be where the trunk actually starts to flare out at the base and meets the roots. You want this root flare to be exposed because that's really where your grade is going to start. So you can pull back some of the soil until you start to see some surface roots and you start to see the flare. Again, if you expose some of the roots, that's okay. They'll turn into woody tissue and they'll be perfectly fine. So now that you've exposed your root flare, it's time to apply the mycorrhizae for the tree. Mycorrhizae is a natural product. It's a fungus that is found in our soils. In Colorado, we have poor soil, so we need to actually add some of this back. It functions in helping the tree take up water and nutrients through the roots. So it's actually a really cool symbiotic relationship between this fungus and the plant roots. The important thing when applying the mycorrhizae is to make sure that it makes contact with the plant roots. So you don't want to just toss it on top of the soil. If it's exposed to the sunlight and the fresh air, it will disintegrate and will not be effective. So you can take your first cup and sprinkle that directly into the planting hole in the backfill, right around the tree. Next, you can take another cup and you can actually gently apply it to the roots of the tree. At this point, we're going to begin to backfill this hole. So typically you would want to use 2 parts of native soil, 1 part compost or planter's mix to amend the soil. Now this soil has already been amended, so we're not going to worry about that. Now as you add your backfill back to your hole, make sure you're tamping it down so that the soil doesn't settle too much. As we backfill, we're trying to create a nice smooth grade back down to the soil level. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and start watering our tree. It's best to do this with the hose and not rely on any irrigation systems in your turf or any drip irrigation. Keep in mind you may need to add some additional soil after this process as the soil will settle. At this point, sometimes people will make a ring with soil around the trunk of the tree to try to help hold some water around the tree. And typically that's okay sometimes for the first season, but you don't want to leave that ring for a long period of time. And the reason for that is because it will hold too much water around the base of the tree and can lead to issues like rot and inability for the roots to breathe. Now that you have created a nice even grade from your root flare back to the soil, you can go ahead and insert some stakes. It's a great idea to stake trees in Colorado, especially in the first couple seasons, since it can be very windy. The biggest thing with stakes that you want to make sure is do not drive the stake into the hole that you just dug. Make sure that the stake is driven 5-6 inches outside of the hole so that it's in very sturdy ground and doesn't move at all. At that point, you can apply some straps to anchor the stakes to the ground. When you're wiring the stakes, it's a good time to double check that the tree is straight, and you can use your wire to pull the tree in either direction at that point if you need to as well. Now that your tree has been staked, you can do any cleanup and then apply mulch around the circle of the tree, about 2 to 3 inches worth of mulch. And you want to avoid putting mulch right up against the trunk. So leave a space of about 2 to 3 inches directly around the trunk of the tree to allow the trunk to breathe and to prevent any fungal issues from occurring in that area. So that's how you correctly plant a B&B tree. You're going to want to make sure at the end you remove any tags from the tree here as well. If the tree is only under drip irrigation, you may need some supplemental watering within the first year to ensure proper establishment.